We're all wondering what the Rams are going to be doing at running back when we head into week 7. Are they going to be starting Zach Evans? Is he going to be getting the touchdowns? Is it Royce Freeman? Is it Myles Gaskin? Does Darrell Henderson get a shot sooner than later, considering he's almost an incumbent since he was there last year? He's got notoriety with the team, and we've seen him produce there before. There's a lot of jabronis here. They're jumbled up in a bag here. We don't know who's going to fall out first, but we do know we got a lot of questions going into week 7. I've been doing countless videos on these players, and we're catching countless different opinions. So I found some clips of Sean McVay from yesterday talking about the backfield. We're going to analyze the coach speak. We're going to see what he's saying. But before we do, you need to click that subscribe button right now. Click it with your finger on your phone. Click it with your mouse on your computer, because we're doing things that other fantasy football channels on YouTube doesn't do. We're going over coach speak. We're going over the waiver wire, multiple videos a day. We're helping you set your lineups, putting in more work than anybody else. Click that subscribe button. Stop missing out. But let's listen to Sean McVay. I got a couple clips here. First one, they're asking, is Zach Evans going to be the starter? They're asking him that. The questions from the reporters, the beat writers, you can't hear them too well, but you definitely can hear Sean McVay with how I got the audio set up. So let's sit back, listen to that.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, we've got the week to be able to evaluate, and I would say, all 4 of those guys are possibilities, and we're truly navigating through that. But I was pleased with what Zach did towards the latter part of the game.
So right now, he's not really going to reveal his hand. He's not really going to say, hey, he's the starter, he's ready to go either. So that's one thing that's an indicator going into the week. They're going to be looking at the practices. They're going to be seeing who's good at what, who can step in and do what, how they can leverage their system, how they can leverage their opportunities. Zach Evans is an incumbent there. He's been there all offseason long. He's been there all season long. Royce Freeman's been on the practice squad. Those two are probably going to be a 1-2 punch from what it sounds like. We got Gaskin there on the 53, and we're going to hear more about Myles Gaskin in this next video, as he's going to be talking about Myles Gaskin and Darrell Henderson. So take a look at what he's saying right now.
Darrell, Myles Gaskin made you guys pursue them? Those two guys.
Darrell, the familiarity. I've always really, loved working with Darrell. Smart, conscientious. When he's played, he's been really productive, whether it be as a runner, as a pass catcher. He's never been afraid to stick his face on people in protection. He has an understanding and a nuanced understanding of what we're doing. I mean, even just in the walkthrough, he was able to pick some things up quickly. Really coachable. He's a smart player. And so it's good to be able to get Darrell back. I always really enjoyed working with Darrell. And then Myles, I don't know Myles really that well. So I'm looking forward to kind of being able to see him work. I've seen him from afar, whether it was with Miami, and then I've heard some different things from Kevin and from Wes. And then, Jimmy Lake was with him at Washington. And so that's really all I know. And I'll probably be better equipped to answer that later on this week.
So he didn't really say too much, but he said a lot. He loves the familiarity with Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson seems like he's very dependable for him. Seems like he's going to like having him back. Feels like he loves the dependability of Darrell Henderson. That's something to take note of. Even though he's on the practice squad right now, don't be surprised by the end of the week, next week, he's moved up to the 53. He does not know much about Myles Gaskin, but that sounds like the other coaches on the team, a lot of other staff on the team knows about him. They're interested in him. They saw him on the practice squad. They say, hey, they wanted that guy. They feel like he can be a good fit because he is good at catching the ball in the backfield. He does have some pop in his step. He does seem like a very good fit in his offense. Look at how they utilize Kyron Williams and how he's using the passing game. Myles Gaskin can be that. Darrell Henderson's good in pass protection. He likes him in pass protection. That's something to look at. Royce Freeman did not really get mentioned much. And Zach Evans, they seem a little iffy with, but they're checking out what's going on in practice, how they can leverage their system, and how they can strategize. Really, we're not getting much from him, but he did like what he saw from Zach Evans at the end of the game, at the end of his performance last week, and he does have some upside. So what we're seeing here when we read the tea leaves is he doesn't really know. He wants to get deep into practice. He wants to see who's moving the best, who's picking up the most knowledge, who they can leverage in what part of the system. Zach Evans sounds like he's going to get an opportunity, and his opportunity might be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in those practices. getting it done, and that might be his opportunity, and then it leverages out to Sunday. Royce Freeman sounds like he needs to get something done now because he sounds very excited about Darrell Henderson, and it sounds like the rest of the coaching staff is very excited about Myles Gaskin, so they're going to compete for touches. The hot hand is really going to win out here. I think Royce Freeman needs to step it up pretty quick. I think Zach Evans needs to step it up pretty quick, or those other two running backs are going to be doing something. But Zach Evans, this is your opportunity. This is your chance to run with this offense. You have to do it quick, or it's not going to be yours. You're a late round pick. You have some upside. You've shown it. We've seen it. But you really have to be consistent. You have to be reliable. You have to put it together. Can you do that? And you can run with it. But if you can't, they got other guys willing and waiting and ready to step up. And we have some guys here that could do it. Gaskin has some upside here in the passing game. I'm excited about him. Excited to see how he can step up here. Darrell Henderson's waiting in the wings. He's getting his feet wet. He's already seeing stuff in the walkthroughs, as he said. He could be seeing a step up. Royce Freeman, just like Zach Evans, has to get it together, have to get it moving. This week, week 7, is going to tell us a lot about these running backs. Or it's not going to tell us much, but it's going to tell us that, hey, Myles Gaskin and Henderson's going to get a bigger crack later next week and the week down before that. Because if Zach Evans or Royce Freeman do not live up to what they've seen throughout the season, then it's going to be the next man up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Catch you on the next video.